This season on The Bachelor.
The list is life. All around its margins lies the gulf.
I'm a soldier. Soldiers fight wars.
That isn't war!
It's a vital part of it.
We're not supposed to be friends, you and me. We're meant to be enemies. Dad's a good man.
Of course he is.
In the story that proves love, family, and imagination conquer all. Life is beautiful.
Tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge?
Do you think the movie should have been censored?
I think it's the artist's choice to choose what to put in the film. I think the harder scenes to watch create a more emotional appeal.
I think it's important to portray things the way they were because it accurately represents history. Especially in this movie, it is important to show the heroism of people that saved the Jews. In the film, Oskar Schindler rescued many Jews by creating a factory that people could use as a haven in order to be protected from the Nazis.
This movie allowed a different perspective without showing blood and gore, but it also showed how it affected the families of the German SS and how not everyone in the family agreed with the Nazis' plan.
I think that this movie showed the perseverance of people in the camp without showing the blood and gore. However, I think violence gives an extra view of how the Holocaust actually was.
Okay. Should Hollywood bring these stories to life, or should it be left in its original form?
I think there is some value to adding to the story, and although my story is not based on a true story, the commander of Auschwitz did bring his family to live close to the camp with him.
I think it is acceptable to produce a fictional story for entertainment purposes, but has a greater quality of emotional appeal when told from a true story perspective.
I think it's important to portray things the way they were because it accurately represents history. Especially in this movie, it is important to show the heroism of people that saved the Jews. In the film, Oskar Schindler rescued many Jews by creating a factory that people could use as a haven in order to be protected from the Nazis.
I think that this movie showed the perseverance of people in the camp without showing the blood and gore. However, I think violence gives an extra view of how the Holocaust actually was.
Do you think your movie was made for educational or entertainment purposes?
I believe the producer wanted the viewers to learn how
I think there's a little bit of both in my movie. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas was not based on a true story, therefore is not factual, but it is an interesting perspective of the Holocaust through the eyes of a German boy.
The Pianist is a film made to teach to students the actual effects the Holocaust had on the Jews, and how they hid from the SS officers and fought to save their lives no matter what obstacle they approached.
For my movie, I think it was a little bit of both. My movie has humor in it, and it is not as heavy as other films. However, it also educates people on what life was like in a concentration camp with a child.
What do you think the producer wanted the viewers to gain from this movie?
I definitely think the producers wanted the audience to gain a different perspective, not only from a German view, but from the eyes of a child. Neither Bruno or Shmuel completely understood what was going on, and their innocence allowed them to create a friendship despite their differences. This movie allowed you to see the impact of the war and the Holocaust on not only the Jews, but also a German family.
The producer wished the viewers to get a sense of what the Jews went through when they were in hiding. For example, Spielman lived in abandoned houses without food for months, or went from house to house, and was helped by those in the revolution.
I believe the producer wanted the viewers to learn how ruthless and brutal Nazis actually were. The producer desired to bring awareness of how inhumane Germans were to Jews to the audience by showing Nazis like Goethe killing those in the camps without any remorse or guilt.
I think the producer really wanted to show the perseverance of people who lived in the concentration camp. By using light humor, it allows viewers to focus their attention on the hope that people still had while living in the camp instead of all the death that was happening.
If there's one thing you would add in or take out of your movie, what would it be?
I would probably change the part of Bruno lying about Schmuel stealing the bread to see how the SS would have reacted to a German boy doing something they didn't want him doing while Schmuel had permission to, instead of beating Schmuel.
If I were to add something to the movie, I would say that we would add the transition from his life in hiding to his real life.
I would not have changed anything. The movie accurately shows how Oskar Schindler, Goethe, and many other characters acted in real life. The film showed the struggles and hardships Jews endured during the Holocaust, as well as the perseverance required to survive during this time. Schindler's List also had actual Schindler Jews at the end of the film side by side with the actor that portrayed them, to give a larger impact and make the story feel more real to the audience.
I would probably more accurately portray the malnourishment of people in the camp. This way viewers could have more of an emotional connection to the film. I also would add something about Dora and Joshua's life after the liberation. This is important to understanding the struggles that people lived with for the rest of their lives.
Okay, thank you all for coming out tonight to share your movies. While all of the movies were wonderful, I will now announce who was the winner. The title of the best Holocaust movie goes to Schindler's List. This movie won for its message and its emotional impact on the viewer. Since it was based on a true story, it further portrays the impact that the Holocaust had on everyone involved. In addition to that, the black and white filming and 3 color scenes add to the emotional impact and show how thought out the movie was. Although the other 3 movies didn't win, they were still amazing movies. I enjoyed The Boy in the Striped Pajamas because it put the Holocaust in a unique perspective by looking at it through the eyes of a young German boy. The Pianist was interesting because of its focal point, which was the ghettos, rather than focusing on the concentration camps like many other Holocaust movies. This movie, Life is Beautiful, put a lightweight and funny spin on the Holocaust, making it easier to watch. Again, thank you so much for coming out to watch this episode of The Bachelor. Life is beautiful. Will you accept this rose?
Yes.
The boy in the striped pajamas, will you accept this rose?
Yes.
The pianist, will you accept this rose?
Yes.